Hello, friends, and welcome to Tabletop Gold, a special bonus episode. This is episode 94.0. I'm gonna sit here right now. This is me, Lars Casteen. Hi, I'm the host of the show. I'm the GM on the podcast. If you've listened to us, which hopefully you have, I'll get into that in just a second. But it's great to see you here. I'm glad that you're watching this special YouTube video. Maybe you're hearing it as a podcast years down the line. Who's to say? But this is 94.0. I'm here right now to give you a very important message. Don't watch this episode. Don't listen to this episode. Don't go any further down this timeline if you have not already listened to episode 94 of Tabletop Gold, The Roots of Ruin. If you're not at if you have not finished the 94th episode of our Abomination Vaults production, don't watch 94.0, which is this. Don't watch this. I'm going to say one more thing. If you're not interested in behind the scenes stuff about our show, if you just want to go with the flow in the story, you don't want us to pull the curtain back at all, then skip this episode too. Maybe you don't want to listen to this. Maybe you don't want to watch this. This is bonus content. This is not mainline content for the series. You do not need to watch this. This is bonus content. You know how when you listen to The Weeknd's popular record After Hours, and you've got the red version where The Weeknd's face is in red, right? You get past the song Until I Bleed Out, and it goes to bonus tracks, and they're awful. You don't want to hear the bonus tracks. You don't need bonus content. You do not need this episode. If you watch this, this could give information away to you about our motivations that you don't want, okay? You're not missing anything by skipping this episode. Seriously, turn this video off right now if you don't want, one, if you're not caught up to episode 94, if you haven't finished episode 94, and two, if you don't want to see behind the scenes information. Okay? I'm going to give you some more time to turn this video off. Okay, you're still here. You made the good choice. Smart. Okay, spoilers. It's happening. It's happening right now. Okay, 3, 2, I'm going to hit a button, and the thing you're going to see is not something you're going to like if you don't want extra information, and if you haven't finished episode 94. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God, it's Armat Humphreys here for episode 94.0. Armat, how the hell are you doing?
I'm doing great, Lars. I am so hyped about what we're going to be doing tonight on this super bonus content episode.
Yeah. Well, everybody who's here now knows kind of what they're getting in for, hopefully. So we got rid of those jabronis that don't want bonus content, so we should be fine.
Only people of exquisite taste are left.
That's right. You're the real fans of Tabletop
The creme
Gold,
de la creme.
the true friends of Hoot.
Yeah.
Okay. Session 0 is a concept that happens all the time. I think more and more in tabletop role-playing games. It's the session where you meet up to talk about what the goals of the campaign are. You talk about who the characters are going to be, etc., and so on and so forth. If you're caught up in the Roots of Ruin, you know that Armat's character Vadim, he's gone. He's not on the show anymore.
Yeah.
So we are going to do a session 0 right now, right here as bonus content with myself and Armat, in which we're going to build Armat's new character. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah. I am so hyped. It's going to be awesome.
I'm hyped too. I love getting into this stuff. It's a thing that we haven't done before. We have not yet done a lot of behind the scenes session 0 type stuff. We kind of have just jumped into the story, just started playing the game from the beginning. We've never done commentary episodes, nothing like that. So this is sort of fresh territory for us, and I'm excited to be here with you tonight doing that.
Yeah, me too. I love building characters in this system. So I'm super hyped for us to get to go through the decision-making process and like all the cool things that the intricacies of this system really let you do and really come up with cool, fun concepts. And I'm hyped for it. Yeah.
I am also hyped for it. Do we have anything else we need to establish, or should we just get into it? Should we just start building a character?
Yeah, let's just build a character.
Okay. Before we do any mechanical stuff, there's some bigger picture things that I want to get into. I will say right now, Armet, you have like a pretty great idea of the character you're building, right? Like, I don't know if you have every single choice made. Maybe you do. I don't know any of the choices that you're making really at all. We've had a little bit of a conversation about like how this character fits into the narrative and things like that. But like, I'm going to be learning along with the listener, with the viewer, exactly what your choices are. So before we start talking through what those choices are, and I think this might be a pretty quick episode, I just want to get some like bigger picture kind of like GM / like show producer info from you, so I can like really kind of understand stuff about this character before we get into those like ticky-tacky choices that you've made. Okay. Narratively, who is this character and why are they exploring Gauntlet or trying to stop Belcora Haravex from using the weapon in Gauntlet to attack Absalom, etc.? Like in the broadest possible strokes, like who are they and why are they doing this?
Yeah, perfect. So I'm gonna be a little cagey here about their precise connection to the narrative. But broadly speaking, they are a descendant of an inhabitant of Otari, and they are sort of an estranged child of that inhabitant, returning home to Otari to connect with their family lineage and to sort of explore Gauntlet. That I should say they are an adventurer. Okay. They left home early to get out into the world and mix things up in the wild, adventure-filled wonderland of Galarian. And so they've been traveling all over. They love exploring. They are just like dyed-in-the-wool, passionate, enthusiastic adventurer. And maybe that translates to a little recklessness at some point. I don't know. So
stop me if I'm getting any of this wrong. It's like you're sort of saying that there are two motivations. One, they're a person who professionally works as an adventurer. This is a person who makes their living searching for, tombs to plunder and, artifacts to recover, like doing favors for powerful people, so on and so forth. Right?
Exactly.
And their motivation for doing that is they like it.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, they just knew from an early age that what they wanted to do was explore, adventure, find extraordinary things in this fantastical world.
Is this person a worshiper of Caden Kalian? Is that their deal? Because like I always like love talking about deities. I always love like thinking through. I think it's like so helpful for a game like this because it gives you like a personality of a deity that you can like grab onto and kind of begin to like figure out what's going on with the person. Do you think they're have you thought about what deity they're worshiping, or do you think they're Caden Kalian? What are you thinking?
I had not previously, but absolutely. Yeah, I think Caden Kalian and this character would jive totally well together. Okay. Just like mesh. Yeah.
So that's motivation one, and then motivation two is that they are a person who is drawn to do this, period. But they are a person who's drawn to this specific dungeon because they have a family connection to Otari.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. And so the dungeon is a way for them to connect with that heritage.
Got it. So they're going there to learn more about themselves, or are they doing something directly related to their whoever it is in town that's related to their background?
I think it's a combination of both. I think that they're going to learn who they are there, but they're also trying to go into the dungeon and understand what it was that they have a history in the dungeon, I should say. And so it's a way of putting themselves in their ancestors' shoes in some way.
Okay.
And trying to understand their ancestor by following their footsteps.
Got it. So broadly, mechanically, what are we building here? What is this character's combat role? And what do you think their primary skill type things are going to be?
Absolutely. I'm seeing this character as sort of a second frontliner and a tank.
Cool. Good. Perfect.
I think there are going to be some fun little wrinkles and add some further complexity to how they play in practice that is going to be really fun.
Great.
And I'm really excited about doing, because I loved playing Vadim. Don't get me wrong. Like, his story was like, that is pure Armat love, like, in terms of his narrative. Like, love dark fantasy, love that stuff.
A tortured hero, driven to do something that he has no control over.
Right. Brooding heroes are like, I will watch that all day long.
Yeah. Sent forward kind of by a sense of obligation, but also just kind of because it hurts not to do the thing that he is being forced to do.
Yeah. Pharasma, not the nicest of goddesses.
No, a real pain in the butt, that Pharasma.
Yeah. Kind of a toxic relationship there in many ways. But mechanically, Vadim was like pretty straightforward. Like, he would move and he would double slice, and that was what the character was built around. But I love playing frontline, but I'm looking to do something a little bit more tricksy, a little bit more complicated, and I think the Magus class, which is what I'm going to be playing.
You're going to play a Magus? I'm going to say Magus. I'm not saying it to correct you. I'm just saying it because that's how I say
Magus.
it.
Okay.
No, I'm not telling you. Well. You say Magus. I say Magus. That's fine. That's call the whole thing off.
At least
right?
none of us say Magus, right?
No, that's absurd. Chaotic evil.
Yeah.
Magus. Get out of here. But so you're doing a tank Magus. That's thrilling to me.
I think it's gonna be cool.
I don't think anybody has ever done that before. I feel like everybody who runs a Magus, it's like the commentary is always like, I did spell strike and blew up 1 million points of hit points off of a guy, right?
Yeah, and I think the cool thing about Magus is that I'm going to be able to do that too.
You can say Magus. It's okay.
Yeah,
you don't have to say Magus. Just because I say Magus, you can say Magus. It's fine.
You know what it is? My high school literary magazine was called Magus Mabus, and so that's why my mind always goes Magus. Magus.
Go Magus.
Yeah.
The first interaction that I had with the word Magus was the villain in Chrono Trigger.
Oh, yeah.
And I definitely thought Magus
as well.
Yeah.
Love that. Speaking of brooding dark anti-heroes.
The best character. What an amazing game.
Love that game.
The great is that the best video game? Maybe.
Could
be. Okay, cool. So but on the skill side of things, what are you thinking there?
So I am thinking probably athletics, bread and butter, strength. I did a dex build with Vadim, and I think for frontliners, strength is really the more fun way to go. Like, I've looked at the Laughing Shadow subclass of the Magus, and I think that's really built around sort of a tricksy flanker striker role, where it requires, like most Magus builds, like a dividing between a attack stat, which is going to be your highest, and then your int stat to handle your casting,
right?
And I've loved trying to play with it, and I think it does some really interesting things, like giving you extra damage if you're attacking a flat-footed character. So right there, like if you're flanking, that's.
Is that the subclass you're doing? You're doing the laughing. What is it? Because I don't know Mega stuff like really well at all. But don't you have to tell me now? Is that the one you're doing or no?
That's not the one I'm doing. I was looking at it, and I at some point would love to play one, but I think I'm going to go for. I'm sort of torn between two options: Sparkling Targe, which I think is. Sorry.
Okay, so you're figuring as long as you're investing in strength, you may as well go athletics. What other skill are you thinking of?
Arcana and some recall knowledge options.
Yeah.
So intelligence is definitely the next highest.
Right.
I'm going to try and start with strength at 18.
Wait,
intelligence. Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I thought a lot about.
So you're thinking athletics and arcana are the main focuses.
Yeah,
okay.
and potentially occultism as well, because that'll. But I think that might come later as they explore Gauntlet.
Right. Well, you really only get like a handful. I mean, whatever.
Right.
Fine.
Yeah.
Great. Cool. All right, let's do it. Let's move on and start building this character. Check this out. We're looking at a character sheet. Boom.
Hey, look at that.
So here's what I've got right now. You can see my mouse cursor. That's great. We're doing this in straight into Foundry. I'm not mucking around with Path Builder. We're just going straight into Foundry because that's how we run the game. And I figured we may as well show off how this deal is put together. If you want to build a character in Foundry, why not? Right?
Yeah. It's a really pretty looking character sheet too.
It is. I agree. So we're going to try to make this character first with the ABC, the ancestry background and class situation. We already know about the class, of course. But we're gonna blast through it. I don't know if you're driving or I'm driving. Which one of us is driving, Armat?
I'm happy to drive and try and add things in, but I may ask for your input as we butt up against the limits of my knowledge.
All right, so let's go ancestry. What are we doing ancestry wise?
All right, let's add it in. I'm going human.
Okay.
And let's see, can I just drag and drop that?
No, I think you just hit plus. Oh, you did it. I see.
There we go.
You got it.
So but their heritage is going to be half elf.
Ah.
Yes.
A half elf, you say?
A half elf.
And deity. We're going with Caden Kalian?
Yeah, let's add in Caden Kalian.
Let's do it.
Love a Caden Kalian.
I love Caden Kalian.
I'm going to go with the bibliophile.
Bibliophile?
Yeah, because it's from the Abomination Vault player guide. It gives the always useful library lore. And one of the things I was thinking about as I was thinking about this character's heritage is that their mom was a librarian. So I think that makes sense. Yeah, at the Foray Logos in Absalom, in fact.
Oh, well, then he has family in Absalom. There's a motivation, right? Okay, and then for class, we're doing Magus, right?
Yes,
Magus.
correct.
Sorry, we're doing Magus. Boom.
Alistair Crowley.
So here we go. Select a hybrid study. What are we doing? Yes, Alistair Crowley. What's he up to?
Oh, I think he pronounced it Magus, but I could be wrong.
No.
So this is where I got a little conflicted because Sparkling Targe seems really cool and it's super tanky, needless to say.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to go with Twisting Tree because that feels like.
What? You're going for Twisting Tree? I would, just looking at this, I would guess that Inexorable Iron is the tank one. Am I crazy?
Inexorable Iron is the two-handed weapon user, and it is pretty cool. You get half your level in temporary hit points at the start of every turn.
Okay.
But given that I'm only level 6 here, that's only 3 temporary hit points.
It's not nothing.
Not nothing. Sparkling Targe, though, lets you, when you raise a shield, you get your shield bonus to also your saving throws.
Yeah.
Spell, which is pretty
That is
awesome.
pretty good.
But Twisting Tree is a staff. Yeah. And so, like, as a Magus, you can use your staff and it gets the parry feat when you're holding it 2 hands. It gets the 2-handed trip feat.
Right.
And reach. So you get this whole host of options and you can still buff your AC a little bit.
By setting up a parry.
Exactly. So I think that offers a lot of versatility.
Okay.
And I'm thinking of doing something additionally with this character that will make it him even more tanky. So
interesting. Okay, so Twisting Tree is kind of like a flex. It's kind of like a flex choice. You can do parry. You can do reach to be not quite a frontliner, and you can do trip. And so you would be investing in athletics mainly to be doing trips then, because if you're oh, I see, but you can wield the staff in one hand or in two hands.
Yes.
So this is
when it's in one hand,
yeah,
it gets the agile trait.
right.
So you can do a follow-up strike. So it offers a lot of flexibility, and
it's the flexibility one.
Yeah, exactly. I like having a lot of different options and being able to respond tactically in the moment.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of fun to like get to choose all sorts of different options, and I think that's fun. And so I think Twisting Tree will give the flexibility to really do that and be reactive to each precise tactical situation a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If you say so, man.
Yeah, well, I've been thinking about this for a while, so I got some thoughts.
I love it. Okay, cool. So I just clicked the ability scores button. I unfortunately, this is popping out in such a way that folks on the stream aren't going to be able to see it. So let's just rock this real quickly if we could. We're going to talk about ancestry boosts. From human, you can get 2 boosts. What are you going to do?
Strength, intelligence.
Intelligence. Okay, very Magus-y. I love it.
Yep.
Exactly. We're not doing voluntary flaws because that's not in the system anymore.
Oh, they removed that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, you know. So Bibliophile, you get 2 boosts. One must be charisma or intelligence.
Let's go intelligence, and then my free boost will go strength again.
Okay. Magus, your key is either going to be your key ability is either going to be Dex or strength. I'm not even going to ask you the question. You're going to go strength, and then you get 4 boosts at level 1 and 4 boosts at level 5 because we're building a level 6 character.
Right. So let's start with a level 1 boost.
Yeah.
I'm going to put 1 in strength.
Yep.
And you're going to be shocked to hear this next one.
Okay.
Intelligence.
Very good.
Then I'm going to go con and whiz.
Ooh, whiz. Love a whiz. Nobody ever puts ones in whiz. They should. Whiz is the best.
Whiz is so good, especially in Abomination Vaults for recall knowledge, religion stuff. I feel like it's pretty clutch. Like,
is this gentleman going to be a religion recall knowledge gentleman, or he's going to be Arcana recall knowledge mostly? Well, we'll figure it out.
I'm hoping general recall knowledge. Like religion might not be their first.
Oh, so you're not gonna. Oh, interesting. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, so strength. Oh, sorry, level 5 boosts. What do we got?
Again, strength to 19.
Okay.
Building up credit for that sweet 20 strength at level 10.
Yep.
Con int whiz.
Wow. Okay, cool. Complete. We did it. So let's do ancestry feats. What are we looking at here?
Elf atavism is the first one.
Elf atavism. That's not letting me do it, so let's cheat. Yeah, they don't like this.
Let's see if I can.
Fine. No, it's fine. Elf atavism, and we're going desert elf?
Desert elf, yeah.
Okay.
And that gives half your level, I believe, as resistance to fire, which seems like it could be good.
Yeah, seems like it could be good. Okay, so elf atavism, you can raise among your elven ancestors' heritage. You gain the benefits of the elf heritage of your elven parent or ancestors. So your elven parent is from the desert.
That might be a little bit of a stretch, but
then we can't do it, man. Where are they from? We're building a character here.
Agreed. And actually, maybe we just scratch elf atavism altogether.
All right.
I think because let's go nimble elf instead. I think that's a stronger choice.
That's a whole different thing.
That's a whole different thing.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, I think you're right. It doesn't make sense character wise, and honestly, I don't think the elf ancestry or heritages are that great. So, and Bibliophile basically duplicates the one I would have used, which was Seer elf.
Okay.
And you get detect magic from that anyway. So Nimble Elf just adds +5
This guy's
feet
quick.
of movement. So that's
So
going to
what
be
is
good.
what does that make your movement speed now? Because aren't elves already fast? No, they're not. Okay.
No. So 30,
Okay.
basically. And then for the level 5 slot, let's go
Should we do
with...
that? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I'm
Okay.
gonna.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure if you wanted to do it level by level.
For ancestry. Let's just do it now.
Okay.
So what's your level 5?
Natural ambition. Love it. Human. Classic. Great feat. Gives you another level 1.
And what are you taking?
Class feat. Magus's analysis, which gives you a +2 bonus to recall knowledge checks if you've struck something earlier that turn.
Okay. This is ringing a little bit of a bell, Armat.
Yeah.
I've seen
some
a character
things are starting to
like
line
this
up here.
before. But not exactly like this. Okay, class feats. What are we talking about? Let's do the level 2 class feat.
So class feat, I'm at level 2, I'm gonna take the Sentinel dedication, which is an archetype.
What?
Yeah. Heavy armor, baby.
Smokes. So
Yeah.
wait, so Maguses automatically get proficiencies with
light and medium.
with
And
medium?
then Sentinel, if you have proficiency in light and medium, you get heavy armor proficiency.
Oh,
and whenever you're
God.
Yeah, it's good. Sentinel dedication.
Oh my God. This dude is
Y'all
running
been
around.
sleeping on it.
This dude's running around in heavy armor to be flexible with a stick? That's what this guy's up to?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
He's a adventurer and warrior who's knows that plate armor gets the job done, and he's
Sure
strong
does.
as heck.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah. Do we want to go to our next?
Let's do so let's just talk about the background. Bibliophile. We get the skill feat. Right. You essentially get detect magic as an arcane innate spell. Okay. So what did you want to move on to? Skills?
Yeah, let's get his starting skill
good
complement.
idea. Good idea.
Just then the skill feats will be easier
it all
to
makes
choose
sense.
if I know.
Of course.
So
what do we get at level 1?
I think because his int is at 16 at level 1.
Okay.
I get 5 skills to put to train proficiency.
Yeah.
And 1 extra because I automatically have Arcana.
Right.
Because of the class.
Yeah. So we're adding
the bibliophile
5.
background.
Oh, I see.
Adding 6.
Okay, adding 6. Okay, so let's do that.
So let's pick them. Athletics, obviously, must have.
Great.
I think then let's go religion.
Okay.
Let's go nature.
Okay.
Occultism.
Yep. Good.
And I think then I have 2 more picks. So let's do society, continuing the recall knowledge potentials. And I think there's some really fun society feats too about like letting you use that score.
Yeah.
Then I guess I think the last one is going to be acrobatics, just because, you never know when you might need to tumble through an opponent.
All right. Okay, cool. Great. Sounds good.
All right. So should we go back to the level 2
level 2 skill
feat?
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Well, I think the first one has to be Titan Wrestler. Such a clutch. If you're going to use athletics for any maneuvers, it's kind of a must-have.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Cool. All right. Should we move on
that
to...
covers level 2, basically.
Yep. That's everything at level 2.
Okay. So level 3, we're going to skip spells because those are weird.
Yep. General feat.
General feat. What are you looking at?
And in this case, usually I'd like to go Ancestral Paragon at level 3, but I actually think since I decided to go with the Twisting Tree subclass, I'm gonna go Toughness.
I saw that coming.
Yep.
Okay, 6 more hit points.
Yep. Not a ton, but maybe hopefully enough. And then I think that's it for level 3.
Okay.
Oh, no, I get a skill increase.
You do get a skill increase. It's true.
And that'll be athletics.
Okay, athletics to expert. All right. Well, now we're looking at level 4.
4, right? Level
Let's
4.
do the class feat.
Yeah, class feat is going to be student of the staff. This is a really cool feat because it opens up using a staff even more. It gives while you're in Arcane Cascade stance, you get your staffs get the deadly D6 trait. So and it also lets you place property runes onto a magic staff, which normally you can't do. So now your staff can take, all your standard striking and enhancement runes, but also property runes like wounding or whatever. And I have some ideas about which property rune I'm gonna get soon.
This feels like a feat tax to me. If I can be annoying for a second, like, shouldn't this be part of, like, why would you take the twisting tree and not take this?
Yeah, it kind of is feat taxy. And it would be fun there's some really fun other level 4 options like Striker's Scroll, which seems really good. It lets you, like, when you're doing your preparations in the morning, attach a scroll to your weapon.
Yeah.
And basically then you can use it as part of a spell strike at any point during the day. And,
so this is really doubling down on the sort of martial aspects of the Magus, kind of.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
It also would be fun to take, and maybe I'll do this at a higher level potentially. Expansive spell strike, which is a level 2 spell, or level 2 class feat, excuse me, and that allows you to use spell strike with spells that do not require an attack roll. So it opens up a lot of potential options. And honestly, that might be a little feat taxi as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about skill feats for level 4.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to take quick jump. Let me get around. Yeah.
Quick jump.
Because basically spell strike is 2 actions. I could jump.
All right. Dude can jump. I love it.
Dude can jump. I just like the idea. It makes him kind of mobile and even though
you're telling that story.
Huge dude in heavy armor, like he's kind of a ninja too, which is badass.
Interesting. All right. Moving on to level 5. We've already done the ability boosts. We're doing spells last, or not last, but later. Ancestry feat. We've already done natural ambition and Magus's analysis. Lightning reflexes, that's the feature that we've already got here, which that's the one that, like, makes your why is this not giving me information? What's happening to my body?
Oh, that's weird.
What the fuck is going on?
Well, thank God this is
okay. There we go. There it is. Cool. So lightning reflexes. Come on, guys, please, guys.
I have it if you.
That's the one that's like it boosts your will saves, and that's it, right?
Yeah, lightning reflex saves go to expert.
Reflex, not will, obviously.
Yeah. And weapon expertise, which gets your proficiency up to expert.
Okay, cool.
For simple martial and unarmed attacks.
Fantastic. Okay, so that's it for level 5.
Actually, I think
skill increase.
And an extra skill because I boosted my intelligence as well.
Okay. So let's start with the extra skill.
Yeah, I have not been quite sure where to go with it, but
well, what is your
and this is actually kind of an interesting thing because it in terms of party balance, Mag is sort of our crafter, but that is one of his strong stats is intelligence. So that would help with crafting.
Yep.
But
It feels like a pretty good choice to me.
The other potential options, though, I could do deception to feint, which makes striking easier. Intimidation to intimidate, which also makes striking easier and is useful across the party in a lot of different ways now that AO has Dread Striker.
Right.
Or potentially, and this is a kind of the dark horse here, stealth, because sometimes you need to stealth, and if you're untrained, it's going to be kind of rough to be a huge dude in heavy armor who can't hide.
Right. So I'm willing to give you feedback on any of those ideas if you want it, but I'm not going to give it to you without you asking for it.
I always welcome your feedback, man.
So,
I love going back and forth. I think we get really fun ideas that way.
The idea that you're going to successfully feint with a +0 to dexterity and a mere trainedness in deception, I just kind of don't think that's going to happen. Maybe it could. You could get lucky, but it's like if you're investing into that for like a specific thing that you're not going to need because you're going to be in the flank most of the time anyway, or you're going to be tripping a person. I just don't see that being useful, that helpful.
Yeah, I think that's right. I just don't have the raw stats for that.
You don't have the stats and you don't need to do it.
Yeah. Well, let's go crafting then, because
that's the correct choice.
You know, I can add aid any crafting mag does or stuff like that.
Or you can have both of you set up crafting and get through stuff quicker. Mag is not able to do recall knowledge while she's raging, so maybe, you know.
Oh, that could come up and be useful. Perfect. Yeah, that feels good. I also feel like that opens up the repair ability, and as an adventurer, your stuff's going to get dinged and nicked by wear and tear. So makes sense to me.
I may be wrong about Mag not being able to recall knowledge while raging. I just assumed that it had the concentrate trait. I'm not sure that it does. I don't know.
Yeah, I assumed that as well, but
who knows? Who cares?
Who knows?
Okay, so you get one more boost here at level 5.
And I think that has to be Arcana. Just sort of matches the class fantasy and you got to do it.
Okay. So is that it for level 5? Yes, I believe it is. Let's go to level 6.
So this is where I have a couple different options again. And obviously, one of the classic level 6 abilities is AOO, Attack of Opportunity. You know it, you love it. And with Reach, that gives a lot of potential abilities to trigger AOO because someone's going to have to move into your reach or out of it. And you just have that many more chances. The other option, and this might be what I end up going with because I could then take AOO at level 8, is Expansive Spell Strike, which just lets your Spell Strike use any spell. And if you're targeting their will saves, you can infuse it with a daze, you can infuse it with a gale blast, you can
gives you flexibility.
You know what, I just talked myself into it. Yeah, expansive spell strike.
But it increases this is now a harder character to pilot now.
It's true. And I think actually that's where Magus gets really interesting, is it's all about your spell selections and getting, much like a wizard, getting as many options as possible.
But on top of that, now you have this question about, like, am I single-handing my staff? Am I double-handing my staff? And if so, am I... Like, you've got a lot of things to think about on your turn. So it's a very, very dynamic character build.
Yeah. And that was my goal for this character, was to come up with something that offered a lot of tactical flexibility while still being fairly strong. The other candidate at level 6 would have been a Sentinel archetype feat, which is Armor Specialist, which gives you the armor specialization effects of medium and heavy armor,
Right.
which would give me Bulwark, which would give me +3 against reflex.
But don't you already?
saves.
I mean, you can already have Bulwark just by wearing plate armor.
I don't know that you inherently get Bulwark when you're wearing plate. I think that requires armor specialization. And so fighters get armor specialization, I think, naturally, in many classes.
No.
No? Am I crazy?
No. Yeah, full plate armor gives you Bulwark. The armor specialization effect is that you gain resistance to slashing damage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Who needs
I'm
that?
so glad to.
Nobody wants that.
Definitely expansive spell strike then.
Okay, cool.
And I'll take AOO at level 8 then, I bet. And then I think all we have left, or at least in terms of feats,
Well, we got a skill feat.
skill feat.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see. You know what? I think as much as David loves to hate on this, Assurance Athletics seems like a thing I should have.
All right.
Because that'll also be helpful with quick jump. I won't have to make a roll to quick jump, and I can use it as one action. Makes it easy peasy.
So other things for level 6. Let's just take a little gander at this, shall we? Magus feat, skill feat. We're done. We're done with feats. We're done. We've got our skills set up. We've got our proficiencies going. So let's do some spells, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're doing Maguses are what kind of spellcaster is a Magus?
They are arcane spellcasters.
Yes, I know, but are they spontaneous or prepared?
They're prepared.
Really?
Yeah, they're a wizard with a greatsword, basically.
Okay. Yeah, wow. Okay.
And I think the prepared thing is really neat because then a lot of in your downtime, there's always a productive thing to do, which is learn more spells. And then you can kind of, adjust your spell list at the beginning of the day, depending on what you think the potential hazards are going to be. Which incidentally actually makes me think that this is not a thing we've done a lot as a party, but scouting becomes that much more valuable to give that advance sense of, oh, okay, I can prep my spells for,
right.
These scenarios that I know are going to be coming up.
Yeah. So let's just start with cantrips.
Right. So I get 8 cantrips.
Yeah.
So I think let's cover a lot of bases with these because I think the Magus is designed to be using cantrips a lot.
Yeah.
So let's start with Acid Splash because sometimes, you get swarm enemies. Having splash damage is really handy.
Okay.
Next up, I think I'm going to go with Daze so I can have something that'll target Will.
Okay.
Then you know it, you love it. It's a classic for a reason. Electric Arc.
Okay.
I'm just going alphabetically.
So you're
here.
just copying Trill. You're just taking Trill's spell list and just putting it in this character.
Well, I have a couple I think here that'll go a little different.
All right.
Like this one, Gale Blast. That's not a Trill spell.
Gale Blast. What the heck is that?
That's a really cool one. So it's an arcane spell, cantrip.
Yeah.
And basically you send out a blast of air in a 5-foot emanation around you and can knock creatures back.
Okay.
If they fail their fortitude save.
Right.
So that's a way to target fortitude, and it's thematic. It's cool. It gives me space on the battlefield. I can see a lot of different ways to use that.
Okay. What else?
Then, let's
we got
go
4 more. Is that right?
Yeah. Let's go with Produce Flame.
Okay.
Love it. Classic. Just sometimes you got to burn stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Puff of poison, which creates target's fortitude and will automatically give persistent poison damage, which could be very handy in some fights, I can imagine.
Okay.
So now I think I got 2 more left, right?
That's right.
Let's go shield.
Really? You want shield in addition to having your staff thing?
Oh, that's right. No, I have the parry option. So yeah, let's just do that.
Okay.
So instead, let's do. Oh, this is kind of a fun one. Scatter Scree. It's an area effect ground blast.
All right.
Also targets reflex, which is cool. And then
there's one that I'm surprised you're not taking.
Is that Tanglefoot?
No, but Tanglefoot is cool. I do like Tanglefoot.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't take Gouging Claw.
Oh, well, that. Oh, interesting. Oh, it does add persistent.
But I guess it's maybe it's redundant with where you're going. Do you want to do Tanglefoot?
I was actually thinking for the last one I'd use. Well, he's pretty. I was debating getting Warp Step, but I think let's do Tanglefoot because that's kind of a good tanky feel where I could slow characters down and control them a little bit. So yeah, let's do Scatter, Scree, and Tanglefoot.
All right, so we're looking at Acid Splash, Daze, Electric Arc, Gale Blast, Produce Flame, Puff of Poison, Scatter, Scree, and Tanglefoot. Tell me which ones you want me to drag into these cantrip slots so that we can see this reflected on the stream.
Yeah, let's start with Daze.
Okay.
Electric Arc, Gale Blast. Produce Flame. And Puff of Poison, because
all right,
it seems fun.
Okay, cool. So how many more spells are we learning here?
So at first level, we get 4 first level arcane spells.
Okay.
So let me look at the level 1, and oh, this is going to be fun. Yeah, I love that this starts to be all about your spell list and your and that's why I think the Magus is a really cool class. So obviously I think right off the bat, True Strike. Okay. That feels like a gimme for the Magus. Then also Shocking Grasp. So if I need to shock a thing to death.
Yeah, my understanding is that that's like the go-to Magus, like kill them spell.
Totally. And then I have 2 more options. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of like the theme of going with Gust of Wind and maybe making them sort of air themed in some way.
Okay.
So let's take that. And last.
Can I give a recommendation?
Yeah, please.
Have you thought about Grease at all?
I had not, actually. That does seem like a classic D&D spell. Yeah.
If you're going to get in people's faces and potentially get to control their place a lot, you know?
Yeah, no, makes sense to me. Yeah, I think that's one of the fun things about
is that what you want to do or feel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, let's definitely do that. So Gust of Wind and Grease, we have 2 pretty solid control options there.
Yeah. All right, so now we're looking at level 2 spells. How many of those are we adding?
Well, when we level up to level 2, I still only have first
4
level slots, right?
Uh-huh.
So I get 2 new spells.
You get 2 more.
2 more level 1 spells. So cantrips.
So like Maguses have tons of spells, but just don't have many slots is the deal.
Exactly. Yeah. They have very limited slots, and they tend to be higher level, so you don't get the lower level utility spells that like a wizard or a witch potentially
Right.
could cast.
Right.
Yeah. Let's add color spray. That seems like a fun kind of control and offer, like gives a way to target will again, which could be handy.
Okay.
And then I think, oh, well, yeah, burning hands, just because who doesn't like a flamethrower?
All right. Okay.
And that'll get some area effects. And potentially with grease, I don't know, could be fun.
Yeah.
Setting a room on fire.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Cool. And so then at level 3, now I'm going to get options of 2 up to level 2 spells.
Okay.
Dispel magic has to be one. Just
Okay.
because I don't think we have anyone else in the party who could cast that.
Nope.
So that feels like it could be really handy.
Yeah.
And the other one, I know exactly what I'm going for. Flame Wisp. It's a really cool spell.
Wisp, you say?
Yeah, I think this is a great spell for a Magus because it basically lasts an entire fight because it's 1 minute. So that's 10 rounds of combat, I think, which generally. And every time you hit a creature with a strike, one of the wisps around your head goes hurtling towards that creature and you deal an additional 1d4 fire damage. But every time you cast a fire spell while it's activated, you get one of those wisps back.
Right.
So you can, as long as you're chaining fire spells, you can kind of keep that running.
Right.
And up for a whole fight, which seems cool.
Very good.
So those are my 2. Then at level 4, I'll get another 2. I kind of think what might be fun would be to do enlarge.
Okay.
Like an enormous mag could be hilarious and really fun.
It could be hilarious and really fun. I agree.
Let's throw out a telekinetic maneuver. Let me do a shove, disarm, or trip at a distance with a spell attack roll.
All right.
Which is going to be all right.
Okay.
Seems like just handy to do and feels like a very Magus-y thing to do.
So that's 2 more spells for that level. What level are we up to now? That was level 4?
That was level 3, I think, because that's when you first... that was level 4. Yeah, right. Exactly.
So now we're on to level 5. So we're adding some 3rd level spells.
Yeah. And I think just right off the bat, if I'm playing an arcane caster, I need a fireball.
Okay. Your commitment to wind magic is really, really blowing my mind right now, Matt.
Yeah, well, fire is
fire. What is fire
if
not burning wind, right?
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. My other thoughts are slow is just so good.
Yeah,
attacking.
It's the best spell in the game.
Yeah, it really is good. Yeah, let's do one of them as haste.
Okay.
It's a staple for a reason.
Yeah.
I
got one.
Oh, well, toss it out. I'm dying.
Ooze form. Turn yourself into an ooze for when you desperately need to tank and not take critical hits.
That could be really fun.
You will no longer be able to cast spells. I'm not sure. Maybe you are. Who's to say? I don't know.
Oh, and you get to choose what kind of ooze you turn into.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll take ooze form. A solid recommendation. And,
all right.
Also apparently a pretty fun isekai option.
So, yes. That time I got reincarnated as an ooze form.
Yeah.
Okay. So which of these millions of spells are you preparing in your 4 slots?
So my
just for example.
Yeah. Level 3, I'm gonna go with a slow and a level 3 heightened shocking grasp.
Okay.
It seems like it's well loved for a reason.
Yep. And what about level 2?
Level 2, let's do a flame wisp. Because that seems like a lot of fun.
Yep.
And telekinetic maneuver, maybe.
All right.
There we go.
It's your funeral. Just kidding. It actually was your funeral at one point.
Yeah. No. R.I.P. My first character.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So what's left? We got to do gear. Is that the situation?
Yeah. I think we just got to do some gear stuff, which will be fun.
All right. We're making a level 6 character, meaning that you can do you want to just take the 450 gold pieces lump sum?
That is a great question.
Which is right about the amount of treasure that you gave up with Vadim. So that's just as well, probably.
Yeah.
The other option is to take one level 5 permanent item, two level 4 permanent items, one level 3 permanent item, and 2 level 2 permanent items.
Okay. Let's just go with the gold. That'll make it a little bit more.
And let's not do all of this. Let's just get the big broad strokes here so that you have like some to play with after the fact, because there are a couple things that I think are central to this character that we need to get here.
Yeah. So I can take any item up to level 6, right?
You can take any item that you can afford.
Then let's do the level 7 spell striker staff.
Not wearing armor, this guy.
Yeah. Well, how much is
Well, a level 7 item is going to be
360 gold. So that leaves me with
not enough.
Not enough for heavy armor?
Yeah, let's can we start with important things, please?
Okay. Start with armor. Yeah.
Level 7 stats.
Fair enough.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay.
So +1 full plate is then
so
our
let's
first.
get some full plate in here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Full plate.
Sorry to give you a heart attack.
That's
there.
fine. It's fine. Full plate, of
So
course, is going to cost us 30 to begin with.
And an armor potency +1 rune is 160. So that's 190 total. 450, which what 260 left?
Well, I'm doing the math on here, so just tell me, if you wouldn't mind, tell me how much I should be subtracting for the
190 minus 190.
Okay. Cool. +1 full plate. Done.
Cool. Let's go to the crucial stuff and let's get a staff.
All right.
So let's see what I can get for 230 gold. Well, actually, wouldn't you know it? That's exactly how much a level 6 staff takes. So,
all right.
Let's see. So I can't get the spell striker staff, but I think one of the fun things about let's go utility and go with a divination staff.
Okay. Let me just say words to you, and you can ignore those words if you would like to. You will not be getting any potency runes or striking runes or anything like that on your primary weapon.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. I need to get a. All right. That is an excellent caution, and I'm very glad you shared that thought with me.
Sure, happy to.
Let's.
So basically, you can think of, if you don't do any property runes, you can think of like any weapon as having like a 100 gold pieces like cost of a +1 striking weapon, right?
Yeah. So let's get a +1 striking. So that's staff of some sort. So that's 100.
So that's 100. So then you have like 130 coins to work with, gold to work with. So you can get a level 4 staff if you want it.
All right. Yeah.
Because the striking rune is 65 and the property rune is, sorry, the striking rune is 65 and the +1 rune is 35.
Yeah. So that's 100.
So you can essentially add 100 to anything and get your +1 striking blah, blah, blah staff.
All right. So for 160, maybe I do a staff of air.
All right.
Let's do that. And that, did I have Gale Blast? I did not have Gale Blast prepped, right? So that will give that to me always as an option to get.
Yes. And you can add a +1 potency and a +1 striking. So we're just going to call this a +1 striking staff of air.
Perfect. Let's see. How much do I have left now? 90?
Well, how much did you just pull? You just pulled 160?
Yeah.
So what you have left
Or is that 70?
Is 70.
Yeah.
Did we do it? Is it done?
I think that might be done. And
you got 70 gold pieces to add, like, to add some skill boosting stuff if you want, and basic stuff, and you got that to play around with.
Yeah, perfect. Let's leave it there.
All right. So, so what other information do we need? Let's just fill in a couple last things. Gender pronouns. What are we doing here?
He, him, his. Just keeping it simple for
age.
Mine. I'm thinking he will be mid-20s. So 23, I think, because it's 47-21, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, let's say 25, and I'll have him be born in 46-96.
All right.
Did I do that math right?
Yeah.
No.
Born in Galarian 1996.
Yeah.
Height. How is this? How tall is this half elf?
You know what?
How high is he?
I think he's not that high. Let's say 5'10".
All right. 5 foot 10 inches.
Yeah.
What this guy weigh? With his 14 constitution.
Yeah. Probably 200. He's a pretty stocky boy.
Big guy. All right. We got some languages to learn. You want to learn some languages?
Oh, I'd love to learn some languages. How many do I get to learn?
I don't know. I'm looking it up right now.
Excellent.
Maguses get a total number of languages equal to, some. I don't know. How does this work?
Oh, interesting. Path Builder is advising me that I get 5 bonus languages.
Okay.
So obviously, I think I get common by default, right?
You do.
Elven.
Okay. Give me one secaroonie here.
Yeah.
Okay, Elven, got it. Makes sense.
Undercommon.
What? Nyang Nyang Bonobo.
Nyang Nyang Bonobo to you, dear friend.
Okay.
You know what? Let's go Sylvan. I don't know that it'll come up, but it seems like a fun option.
Okay. Do we get common languages here?
I think we do. So. Yeah.
I think we do. Sylvan.
From the list
Sylvan is on the list. You're good.
Languages and any other languages which I have access to, which maybe is
it's not going to be like,
right. Yeah.
Ignan.
How about Dwarven?
Love a dwarf. How many is that? That's 1, 2.
That's 4,
3, 4. So we got one more.
One more.
Can I make a recommendation?
Yeah, please.
If you're investing so heavily in Arcana, you probably want to know Draconic.
Yeah, makes sense. I was thinking about Draconic too, just because seems like there's a lot of magic there.
Yeah, and that's like one of the few creatures that is like that's their recall knowledge,
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. I love that list.
I love it too. Okay. So is there anything else? Yeah, go ahead.
I might have only gotten 4, actually, in which case I will drop Dwarven, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Dwarven.
Sorry, dwarves. Love you very much and want to play a cranky dwarf at some point very badly. but not today.
So you've got expert in all of your saves. That's pretty wild. That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. And I think this is a fairly versatile, tanky character that can do a lot of different roles in combat.
I agree with you that it's versatile. I think it remains to be seen whether it's tanky, but we will absolutely see. Like the proof will come out in the pudding on that one for sure. I'm very excited to see how this turns out.
Well, I can definitely get the higher than average AC with and I know one piece of gear I really want to get too, the Casteen helm that just came out in
that one that's broken?
Probably, yeah. In Treasure Vault.
Yeah.
The one that gives you +1 status bonus.
To yes.
AC.
To AC.
225
225 gold pieces, something to look forward to.
Yeah, can't afford it quite yet, but soon.
And all right, Armet, the only thing to remain, I think. Is there anything else that we need to do? Or do we need to say this character's name and then move on?
Yeah, I think let's say his name and let it be known who he is.
All right. What is this character's name?
His name is Istanovel Volis. Or Istan.
Tell me if I'm spelling this right.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Is it Vollys?
It is indeed.
Istanovel Volis.
And Istan for short.
Istan.
Yep. Nailed it.
Wow.
So any viewers who are real Roots of Ruin heads
they know. They've listened to the episode.
Yeah,
this is
they've
ridiculous.
figured it out.
This is so silly. What are we doing?
Yeah, he is Haplow's estranged son, come back to learn his father's fate.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, I think it's
after he gets killed in the next episode, what do you think you're going to roll after that one?
Oh, definitely an investigator.
Okay, good.
Yeah. That was the thing I was really torn about. I think the investigator can be a really neat, kind of cool, and also similarly very versatile class. So
yeah.
Anyway, I'm excited to see how this plays in practice.
Me too. This is a lot of interesting things going on with this build. Lots of magic, lots of damage, lots of dynamic tactical choices. He's a bon. It sounds like he's a little bit of a bon vivant. He's drawn to discover what his father was so obsessed with. It sounds like.
Yep.
Very
absolutely.
exciting. We did it. We did it.
That's a whole character. That was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah,
we did do it.
I'm so excited to play this character. I have to say, I've wanted to play Magus ever since Secrets of Magic came out. So
which we missed. Our first time around was before, like when you were building Haplo. This was not an option. I think it's interesting that this character like has Haplo tendencies, but is not the same guy really at all. You know,
I think that's going to be a fun thing to play with. Because in my mind, Haplo was like, he was an ancient elf, and so he was very sort of slow to move. Whereas I think Istan's half-elf heritage is going to make him a lot more impatient to get on with things and sort of charge ahead. And hopefully he's got the martials and arcane skills to back up his reckless approach to life.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play.
I hope you know what you're doing.
God, me too. But if not, I expect you to punish me for it. Yeah. And we'll see you on episode 95.0.
That's right. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Are we all done? Anything else you want to say here? Or are we good to say goodbye? I think we're probably good to say goodbye, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoy our series. You made it to the end of the episode. Bonus content. Bonused. And I don't have anything to promote because if we're here, you're all in on what it is that we're doing. So thanks for doing that. Thank you for being here. And I guess that's it, right?
Yeah, we'll see him next time.
See you next time. Goodbye.